Get a taunt to set up the
Ich hab mir noch einen Ring gemacht. War gemeint knapp, nein.
body alone will extend the range of the ultimate. The Nico will get banned away here.
Hallo Beckner, hallo Möll.
Champions left that could potentially help a lane go toe to toe with this Ashe Seraphine. And I expect we just see a Yuumi ban in that final spot as well.
Ich mag noch den Ori.
What else they would like to take away?
Die sollten Wukong.
Yeah, I mean, when you go down the list, you know, there's Yuumi, there's Lulu. If you want to try to play a a melee support into it, we did see Nautilus. I think that was yesterday. Didn't really work out. But it's just going to be the Zeri instead.
Zeri, Yuumi.
Yuumi counterpart.
Great success. Pays proved this already.
You
flash the arrow or you flash the encore and look for the all-in timing. It is very strong. So the question becomes now, what does Diablo and Kellen want to play in this bottom lane? Because the Ezreal Yuumi is strong in its own right, but doesn't necessarily suit their composition. They'll at least have a little bit more information before they have to make that.
Was Neues beim Mord? Ja, reden wir noch zum Game drüber, keine Sorge. Keine Sorge, das ist ja alles perfekt abgestimmt. 10:12 Uhr, wir gehen ins Game rein, das ist perfekt.
The Xin Zhao and the Wukong were great.
Das ist wirklich toll.
We've really thinned out the pool significantly here for Canyon, and it looks like he's going to opt for this Ambessa, but the great part is it's still technically flexible.
Yeah, still technically. Just depending on what they see in terms of the whole comp, but generally not wanting to put the Ambessa against their Renekton. But he could. I mean, Keen as well. Blind pick the.
Was ist Counterplay gegen Nocturne Ori? So in etwa eine Comp?
Ezreal Yuumi, some sort of Lucian lane.
Seekers.
Almost suicidal. Going for
Lister Renata da reingehen. Boah.
Into Ashe Seraphine is one of the boldest choices I think you could ever make.
Yeah. Well, it's Kalista Renata. If you're gonna pick Kalista
Renata gegen, also.
This does weaken a Kennen pick because I thought maybe they would consider the
gegen Ashe Renata.
Because they also don't have really the magic damage
gegen Ashe Seraphine
right now, and Kennen really struggles into this. Zahin, similar story, frankly, and is going to have a little bit of a tough time in the early lane. And with the Ambessa into Renata and Kalista, which is relatively difficult to dive.
Das ist Zahin, ist es Zahin Top Game? Ist das lanebar?
Vikla, if he can get Prio in the mid lane, they can play through that Nocturne. Like the bottom 2v2 matchup. I think we will all agree on that. Diablo is going to have to show us something that we've never seen before, and Kellen will have to hit some amazing handshakes. They're going to have to dodge everything from Duro in order to make this work, but maybe they'll just sit under turret and then look for a mid-game power spike instead through bailout. I do think, and maybe this would be controversial to say, but I like this draft for BNK.
Also ja, ich mag den Draft auch für Furix. Ich mag den Draft wirklich für Furix. Nur Bot, dann habe ich noch ein wenig
once again a lot of comfort here for these players on these picks.
Sorgen.
BNK side.
What I will say is that Orianna Nocturne can absolutely make Seraphine's life hell, you know, just blow her up before she's really able to do anything. But if you don't get the combo off and everybody's like melee range into Seraphine Ashe, you just lose. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel very good to me, Wolf. And it does feel like one thing is clear, not just the top laner of BNK, but that GENG's drafting is on point today, and I think they have done a great job. We'll see if they can.
Auf jeden Fall reduziert den Text wieder nicht. Oh, ich weiß nicht, wie es hier. Also, ihr Move-Speed irgendwie nicht mehr, oder ihr Jumping wird nicht mehr. Wird nicht mehr geslowed, aber ich weiß nicht, wie es funktioniert.
Alright, Valdez, here we go. Game 2. Jovi's Galio, drafted early. Great new skin. It is going to be a tough game for BNK with this draft, but they have tools. They have the global of the Nocturne. Like you mentioned, it's very easy to kill Seraphine with this pick and the setup they have. But in a lot of ways, it feels like whether it's Seraphine or anybody else, in order to win team fights, they will have to win them 5v4 at worst case scenario, with the combo eliminating someone essentially out of the fight. So then Diablo can get bailed out, and then they can continue the fight from there, because you're playing into Ashe slows, you're playing into Taunt from Chovy, you're playing into Zahin, will likely have a second life as well in most of these team fights, and the Seraphine roots and charm as Kalista. When you think about Kalista, You think about almost like a Beyblade, a spinning top that's flying through a team fight, loves to be up in close and personal.
Das gerade übrigens mit 10%, 100% dieses Gundam angelehnt. So geil.
The problem is there's so many ways to stop the top from spinning in this draft here for GENG. And that's what I'm most concerned about for how this is going to work outside of lane, where obviously we're going to have some serious issues here in the 2v2.
Yeah, the 2v2, it is what it is. It's Ash, Seraphine, BNK know what they're getting themselves into. They say, well,
ich sehe es auch immer noch nicht so wirklich.
With what's available, so we're just gonna pick this and play for
So, bekommst du ein All-In-Window irgendwann, oder?
Is going to be very annoying as Orianna. This is what she does pretty much everybody, is not really allow you to have all that much fun, chunks you out for relatively low mana costs, and can make your life very miserable, but eventually you get some tank items, you know, can go hollowed Radiance. That's what I was looking for. And then go into a bunch of armor or even into AP and just clear waves instantly.
I think in this game he'll probably go for the Riftmaker second. But we will see. And this has been pretty common in drafts like this. They'll have a ton of damage instead of one particular carry, which will be the Ashe in this game. CC is how you win the game as GENG, and they have a lot of it. Canyon is lurking in this brush.
Aber er verliert es beim One Canyon.
What he sees.
Ja.
Yeah, the pings came down. They saw Canyon go into the bush.
Ja, ergibt Sinn. Er verliert es beim One.
To kite it out. Some wards get placed down here. They know exactly
what
it is, so we'll see.
Guter Gank-Attempt.
Our bottom laners
Das ist ein sehr guter Gank-Attempt.
are expecting the gank to come in because they're pretty far up the lane.
Ich glaube, das Lineal ist hier mindestens... Oh. Oh, das Lineal. Beide tot, oder? Ja, meint. Schöner Gank.
Flash from Kellen, but it's enough to get the full set of summoners and the kill onto Ruler. Kill goes over to Raptor early, which is actually important for his stacks. As we zoomed through this replay really quickly. But the thing about the Nocturne...
Ja, gemeint sehr eindeutig. Sehr, sehr eindeutig.
Ideally, for the enemy team, not supposed to be able to get those pre-6. That means your cooldown when you do have your ultimate is going to be so much faster, even on the first ult.
Yeah.
And so that is really, really important for the tempo of this game, not to mention the fact that now the Kalista has a significant advantage in terms of gold and is able to pick up Berserker Greaves right away. It is so huge for Diablo.
Yeah.
Ja. Und Double Sums Advantage auf AD Carry. Ist jetzt das 2v2?
GENG's composition have a lot of tools when it comes to team fighting later on. But if bottom lane gets behind and top lane's already struggling and mid lane as well.
Ich weiß es gar nicht. Ich kann mir, also, was wird die Scrim-Win-Rate von GENG sein? 85%? 80%? Sowas? Ich weiß nicht. Es gibt immer Sachen, wo du also, draften, ne? Alleine draften ist schon so ein dicker Bestandteil.
Certainly a lot of the wins, the upset wins we saw from BNK and the dominant victory we saw yesterday over D+, were strategic choices, strategic drafts. Even there was a single game win they got over GENG, same story. And that type of pathing from Raptor, unusual, very strategic. Will get them a pretty nice lead here to start things off. We won't see Canyon commit further without his ultimate here to set up a dive. Smikla not going to go for the ult there. Chovy will just take the back. But bottom side here, you know, you get that extra lead. It isn't going to last very long, but it means that you're not playing just with one hand tied behind your back constantly in this game. It's money that you're otherwise not going to be able to get down there on the bottom side. Even just the assist feels like you're winning at life if you're the Kalista in this game.
Yeah. I was going to say, look who's back. I mean, Raptor's down here once again. I don't think he is trying to get the gank. I think he just wants to pick up the Scuttle Crab and hit 6 off of it. If he has done this correctly, he's also starting the Dragon, so...
I mean,
Drake.
I believe Ruler just did his first back, so he didn't have items he had.
Das ist Upgrade Smite gegen Non-Upgrade Smite.
No Ashe here, we can get the push through. Canyon's looking for a potential steal setup.
He's going to have to just kind of walk in, and he is going for it. Really wants this early Drake. It comes down, and Canyon does it again. And even ults in with level...
Er ist so disgusting. Okay. No, das ist... Also, ich glaube, es ist wahrscheinlich worth it. Weil es ist halt... Es ist ein 100-0 Drake, richtig? Aber er ist so disgusting.
He's doing cartwheels over the tightrope with a blindfold on, with the risks he is taking in this game, but
Weil es kann schon sein, dass er halt denkt, okay, wenn die jetzt diesen Drake bekommen, dann bekommen die 2 Drakes safe. Eventuell den dritten auch noch, weil die halt auf 2 Items so hart spiken. Kann schon sein, dass es jetzt worth it ist.
Clear's looking for an aggressive play here as the empowered W.
Yeah, Kane in a little bit of trouble, but not really having enough pressure to get the kill. Canyon, I don't know what it is against BNK. He's like, no, I'm just going to steal all of your things, as we do have the arrow coming down.
Ja, gemeins war sehr one-side. Wird 3-0, weiß nicht, ich finde den Drop von BFX hier nicht schlecht. Überhaupt nicht schlecht.
But it's still a very nice here for the side of BNK. 2 kills now for the side of Raptor. The bottom lane is going swimmingly, as good as you could hope for it to go, essentially. And now even looking for a little bit more. We get the zoom in, level 6.
Yeah, no flash here for Ruler still.
Wow.
He has enough space.
Sidestep on the handshake.
And I think if they get anything there, like the handshake connects,
Raptor ulti.
is close enough to catch, the Raptor can look for an ult play. They still want to do something of this.
Yeah, I mean, they know this is possible. Raptor's just going to run at them. And Ruler, I mean, there's really nothing
barrier.
to do except barrier eventually. And now, with the paranoia coming in, he will pick up the kill on a Ruler in the bottom lane.
Wow.
And just like that, Raptor is 3-0 in this game.
Quintessential Raptor early game. He's just making it happen. Aggressive pathing, getting into the back line, going into the enemy jungle, and finding these wraparound angles. He is 100% KPs, all 3 of 3 on the kills. And he's pushed Ruler out of this bottom lane.
Jungle Roll, ne? Ja, ja.
400 gold here, the lead for Diablo. And now GENG in a really awkward spot in this early game. This is not the early game they were hoping for with this Ashe pick. As God, this play here from Canyon comes over, has the dashes, and gets in here. Wait for it. 1070. Getting lower, gets the smite, gets hand shook, ults, Raptor, spell shields it, still has enough distance, gets the flash, so forces the follow flash. And here Ruler goes to ward, and unfortunately finds out that his worst fears were realized. That guy's already here! And a really nice ult here from Raptor the Paranoia, allows him to close that gap one more time. And it's the second kill there onto the Ashe. And now he has Hex play.
X-Praise Pedic.
So the ults are coming, and they're coming fast.
Yeah. They absolutely are, and it's kind of insane what he has been able to manage early on as the
Lol.
The timing excellent here on a Vikla, who does have his flash, but
Lol.
coming in, Vikla just going to throw a shockwave and a flash to try to get away, but he just TP'd here, so not a very comfortable position for our Orianna player.
Geil getimter Lachs.
It's just like, I've seen 1,000 TPs. I know that timing. I know where you're going to land. And he just says, you think you could just TP back to lane casually? I'm not going to allow it. There's no response. And then the follow-up from Chovy doesn't require flash. Really easy.
Keens Gedanken für Bramble West.
Get that taunt set up. So forces
Ich vermute mal, das Matchup ist einfach super tough, ohne Armor.
Raptor has to clean up things.
Ist die Frage, ob er halt, ja, Frage, ob Tabis reichen oder ob er Bramble gehen muss.
The early game was tough. He's completely out of it now.
I mean, ja, sure.
Yeah, he's just biding his time, trying to build.
Aber useless? Na, useless würde ich nicht sagen, schick's Wickler direkt nochmal Base.
Ist
auch nicht useless.
Stolen. I got there in the end. He does this very often, so kind of getting to me. He is going to take down that ward as well. Just trying to further his lead as much as possible. Canyon just trying to power farm to keep up as much as possible. Raptor's here, he has his ult, of course.
Canyon is really far away. That root's going to buy some significant amount of time, and there's no wave, so...
They have flashes this time, though, so...
I just don't think they can commit without a wave.
Yeah.
Canyon even stops going over there. Goes straight to his Raptor camp. It's a calm before the storm in this game in a lot of ways. The BNK have generated a significant lead in the jungle and in the bottom and top lanes, but it's not enough to yet feel like they're in control of this game. They lost.
Ja, Raptor spielt ein sehr gutes Early Game. Und die Comp ist im Midgame auch super scary für den BFX.
The Seraphine comp, the anti-Callista, all the CC. And this Renekton hasn't been played through really just yet. See what he can do in these team fights, because he's another melee that if he doesn't get charmed or rooted or taunted or ulted by Ambessa or skewered by Keen, can get a lot done.
Ja, im Normalfall kann der Orianna halt kommen in den Matchups. Öfters als nicht sehen wir.
So this dragon will be BNK's. And of course, this is calculated. Canyon gonna try to put his face on the line to try to steal once again. Raptor not even gonna smite this one down, and it's Mountain Soul that does come in.
Wave is here a little bit for potential paranoia. They're not gonna commit though, it's just too thin. So it is just Dragon, like you say, into Mountain. It's both of these.
Warum Rod of Ages auf Orianna? Wow, Rod of Ages ist Tierbild. I guess sie gehen von kein Damage bei Genji aus, oder was?
Additional resistances, especially when she gets later on in the game and likely to pick up a Jack shows.
Interessant.
So even individual Mountain Drakes feel quite nice. And we're just kind of playing this slow mid-game out, or we're cresting into the mid-game now, where the lead for BNK is huge in terms of the gold numbers. But how well can they translate that into...
Der eine gesehte Drake könnte hier wirklich Arbeit machen.
That's the question they still have to answer. And why I think even a BNK fan is not ready to fully trust that they are in the driver's...
Ich weiß noch nicht, wie die erste später spielen will. Ich glaube, ich sehe es nicht. Ich glaube, wenn er kein Flash hat, ist es einfach so fucked für ihn.
In this game, and yet still feel like he's going to have to if they're going to hold on to this gold advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Fed Nocturne, again, can be very scary. You know, Vikla doesn't need to be fed to put the ball onto Raptor and press R onto Seraphine, which should be the main target, or even Ashe, you know, depending on the situation. But if you can take away a lot of that utility in the very beginning of the fight before he's even able to press any buttons, you're going to love it. And now they're actually trying to get onto Chovy here, it looks like. Want to utilize this Nocturne as much as possible. The taunt comes down and Chovy gets phase rush, so he's just... That's not going to work.
Might be able to make something happen in the bottom lane if they commit the roam from Vikla. Vikla has just not been spending any time outside of lane, doesn't have his teleport, and he's still, you know, early days here on this Rod build he's going for, which I know is going to make a lot of people roll their eyes in this game. But he doesn't really hurt that much the enemy champions anymore. With the build that Chovy's gone, he's just able to walk it off every single thing that Vikla throws at him.
Wie gesagt, kein Damage, aber später auch, ich weiß nicht. I guess Nocturne Ori muss halt knallen, aber Nocturne Ori knallt nicht wegen Rod of Ages. Mal schauen.
Down to a halt in that gold lead. If you pulled up the graph, you'd see it's dropped about 50% here for BNK, what they had before. Still grouping now that they have the side lane Orianna to potentially look for a pick in the bottom lane. And there isn't really anything else they can go for. I mean, they have immaculate vision around this dragon, but it doesn't spawn for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, Raptor's just trying to hover around Vikla, and Chovy's like, dude, I know you're here. Yeah. Very obvious, and also I have a ward. And again, Chovy's just such a difficult target to take down just with the two of them.
I mean, there is like one ward on the whole map for GENG.
Immer noch nicht so happy mit der Situation bei GENG. Jetzt haben wir Echoes of Healer fertig. Kannst natürlich sagen, so auf zwei... Okay, Seraphine braucht actually drittes Item für Seraphine, sollte Seekers werden, nicht? Braucht Sonjas. Die braucht Sonjas.
And then making sure they can continue to apply that pressure without any consequences. And, you know, that means that it allows you to pull GENG around, grab some additional plate gold in the mid lane, keep that Kalista ahead. We have to keep asking the question is this enough of a lead? The TP will come through for Chovy. They're just going to catch this wave. The Herald is up, so they lost prio here on that TP from the teleport from Chovy. Let's see how BNK play this. They do have clear with TP. He's going to grab a plate himself. And actually, GENG back away.
Yeah. GENG are backing off of the canyons down the bottom side. We saw clear actually going in. But yeah, they are going to see Raptor moving over here, and I think they're just electing to say, well, at this point in time, you got a Kalista on one item, the Nocturne is gigantic. Let's not take any risks.
Dann werden wir das Game ja mal schauen. Also, wie gesagt, Stand jetzt, BFX ist natürlich klar Map-Lead.
I do feel like, you know, given enough time, a little bit more tankiness, maybe you can sneak some of the dragons. If they get into a 5v5 team fight and not die to the Nocturne, they're going to be in a good spot, and I think they can do that a little bit better.
However,
a little bit later in the game.
I agree with this.
Ich frage mich, ob
because this is how you could lose the game with certainty. Is
okay. Ich frage mich, ob BFX versucht, einen Flash zu bekommen vor einem Fight, oder... Also, weil nicht. Versuchen die irgendwie Flashes zu forcen oder gehen die einfach Raw Dog in den Teamfight rein mit allen Flashes ab und dann wird die Nocturne Ori Combo geflasht und dann ist FF.
You know, potentially on the cards with Kellen being nearby, it is so easy to just constantly keep him underfoot. And so this is an extremely high value Herald, especially because the timing of this with the Dragon guarantees prio here. Now, they don't necessarily be able to get the whole
Hier ist ein dritter Drake, Herald.
It's going to be a
Classic.
big chunk, and that prio guarantees that they get this Dragon set up here.
Wollen
early from the side of BNK, but they get total control over the river, which
Wirklich?
is the thing. They have the sticks in the Dragon from the Callista. Surely they can just time the smites here. The ult is not going to land. And
Nein.
Not like this.
Nein, 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 nein.
I don't know, my everything just
Nein, 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 nein.
volley come through. Because you and I both knew, like that 50
Das ist nicht gut, weil die kriegen so viel Zeit zum Scalen jetzt.
It was way too early.
Die bekommen viel zu viel Zeit zum Scalen jetzt.
It's not a high number, but in terms of smites, it is high enough.
Oh, and now they want to dive. This could be. Oh, they're not going to land the arrow, but it's.
Diven die denn wirklich?
Underneath this turret.
Boah, die diven den wirklich. GG.
So
Und Game ist over.
already.
Okay, Game ist over.
Advantage that BNK had deals completely
3-0
away,
wahrscheinlich.
all gone, erased.
And now Diablo's trying to get plates here. I think he'll be okay, but you can feel the pressure from
Du
him.
kannst jeden Scheiß Smite choken. Well, aber der Drake beim Smite war, also der Smite beim Drake war ja nicht gechoked. Also den Smite, den ersten Drake konnte er ja nicht gewinnen. 50-50. Also war ja kein 50-50.
They opted
Kann er nicht
to
gewinnen.
commit to the smite there and just get out, not try to force a fight, just say Dragon's enough. And they did that. But one early smite after Canyon wasn't in the pit, you could just go sub-smite range to make sure. Watch Ruler
When
here.
did they do this? Oh, it's 2,000. That's. I mean, it doesn't. You can wait just a little bit more. Like as long as it's above 1,400.
Ja, Canyon hat Upgrades, meint ja.
Yeah, yikes. It's okay.
And now, in live.
Chain hinten aber auch, ne? So, also
And now he's going to try to flash.
Hook, Line and Sinker. Und tschüss.
From Ambessa that easily. I will collect the kill. And bad turns to worse for BNK as GENG. They will feast on any amount of room you give them.
It's looking like this game might be heading towards sunset territory for B&K's composition. And I hate to say it, but in Game 1, their comp had so many holes in it into what GENG had. In Game 2, I like their composition better, but it's so all in and so strong at only certain moments in the game. If you really lose control, because they had all the edge they need to win the game. They had all of the setup. Like, they had the Fed Nocturne, they got the Herald, they had Dragon setup. And it's just dominoes falling one after the other.
Hat sich jetzt mit mir bekommen, Nope, er hat mich zweimal gekroppt. Jetzt bin ich auch, jetzt frage ich auch nicht mehr an. Aber mit Sven habe ich angefragt. Und wenn der mich korbt, dann.
One more fight, one more opportunity, one more bailout angle potentially, or some crazy Nocturne Orianna combo.
Ja, also ich habe ja auch Kalista da, ich habe nur die Kombo nicht. Du kannst. Also nein.
They messed that up.
Die machen nicht, also die machen nicht genug Damage.
For GENG, if the Dragon is secure
Glaube ich.
again for them.
Hätte ich jetzt gesagt beim ersten. Das ist halt 1000 gegen 600 Smite. Du kriegst nicht, also. Right? Das ist kein 50-50. Boah, schöne Seraphine-Ulti. Rise in the back. G. 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 Halt. 3-0 into LPL. Super.
3 seconds on Baron. 3 seconds on Baron when this happens.
Free. It's free.
It's so free. There is no jungler. There's no damage. Pickle doesn't have shockwave. He's sitting on a rod of ages that's not complete. He can't hurt a fly. This Baron is just going to go down right away and clear.
Rod of Ages Setups ist so pervers.
Here with Vikla. But that fight was the last chance I was alluding to. And it slips through their fingers. They get absolutely crushed. GENG snatch this victory away in a split second. Baron's up. Suddenly, what was a 1,500, nearly 2,000 gold lead for BNK for all of the early game is now a massive lead for GENG here. As the arrow comes through, the root's there, they get the fates call.
Ich muss jetzt Roman, Bigard, Auftritt am Muten, der macht schon wieder sein scheiß Cosplay.
But the charm is already out. It's a double charm here with the extension. And it's just easy as pie. Frankly, to clean up with this draft is GENG. They get a single CC, and it's just layers upon layers. And that Callista top maybe never is going to be spinning in this one.
Yeah, I mean, the way BNK win fights, if this were a more even game, is through the Orianna Nocturne combo, you get the follow-up. You know, Kellen throws himself in, a little bit of engage Renata, right? Everybody piles on with essentially 5 melee, it feels like. But if you're getting engaged on
Hi, Dashi.
and
Hi,
throwing
Richie.
yourself into a Galio just to get
Luca.
taunted, and Diablo's left all alone, you're not winning a single fight. And especially not when you're this far behind. As now Vikla just runs into them, and GENG say, thank you very much. We will pass go and collect 370, as we do have the taunt coming down the charm there on a
Ja,
as he's just running
der
away.
Reverse Sweep dann, oder?
Just smiling on them now. Aru comes down on a clear as he's free food as well. And he's looking a lot like solo kill.
Ja, die sind schon ziemlich gut.
GK are just getting rolled.
Die sind schon ziemlich gut, aber diese geklauten Drakes machen halt so einen Unterschied.
7,000 gold lead now. This turret is just dead. And GENG can go ahead and grab Soul Point. They seem only vaguely interested in that. This little Sin Canyon over alone.
They're like, I guess.
Sure. An inhibitor is pretty appealing. Diablo
GENG ist gut in League, ziemlich gut in League. Tatsächlich, ja.
But they're so ahead. I think they could have gone for the try. Instead, they'll send Chovy over here. They'll take out an additional.
Also besser spielen in der Lobby.
And 7,000 turns to nearly 9,000 gold. The advantage.
Yeah.
Soul Point in pocket. And watch this. This isn't even chain CC on Vikla. They both just kind of aim at him, and he dies.
No flash. Just running at them.
Like, both of the CCs were just angled the same way towards him at, like, different cross angles.
Yeah.
He's hit by both. He's dead. He has no flash, as you mentioned. And he's coming in on a flank angle. They read it. They destroy. And then from here, it's just, this comp is so oppressive from ahead. You just keep going in.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
one
full
hostile
health.
takeover is just,
Yeah.
it's like the only thing you have. It's feeble in comparison.
Yeah. It
It's like
feels
putting
very
your hand
sad.
up against a
All right, they're going to
chainsaw.
try for it, Wolf, as I don't think I saw a shockwave. There it is, and he's just going
Wow, schön geflasht auf die Oriana Shockwave.
He says, jump, I will take the kill. And picks up 2, picks up 3. And that's the one thing about BNK. They will never back down from a fight, even if they're 10,000 gold behind. But sometimes it just looks like this, and it's not very fun for them. GENG, though, having a ball, just running them down. Vikla going to flash away. And maybe for now he will survive. But the game is over. The game was over. It felt like 10 minutes ago.
The good news is his Rod of Ages completed.
Oh.
Ja, GG.
Only good news, Valdez.
Problem ist, 22 Minuten bis zum nächsten Draft, das ist nicht gut. Weil da startet nämlich das Fuck, Mann.
Just like that. You gave them an inch, one failed play, and GENG said, thank you very much.
Die machen was mit More.
2-0 for GENG, as they are looking like the strong favorites to take this LCK Cup.
They were the massive favorites before